Next on deck with Tim Black.
Good looking people here. Should I do this? Yeah. I think so. Maybe just do this special class. It was very lucky. I saw another document that turned out to be very good for the country, and I said, let's use that same pen. I don't know, is anybody superstitious? Ron, are you superstitious? Let's use that same pen.
You know what I find interesting about this off the top is that the kids, they didn't run out screaming that the devil's here. Yeah, nobody ran out screaming that the devil's here. I remember when Trump got elected, I was walking the little kids to the bus stop. They were like in first grade. I remember at the bus stop, there were kids already there with their parents. And I remember the kids were talking amongst themselves, and some of the black kids, I could overhear them talking about the election that just taken place. And one of them said, "We in trouble." The other one said, "For what?" He said, "Trump is president." And the other kid said, "So?" He said, "Trump gonna bring back slavery." And it was confusing because these were white kids. Nah, these are black kids saying that. Yeah, these are black kids who watch MSNBC. They probably watch Joy Reid. Matter of fact, we'll be covering Joy Reid later in the broadcast.
Can you come up just to say? Very important, big factor here. Good luck.
That's Hillary Clinton. He gave Hillary a job, man. Trump is a good sport. I ain't know he had it in him. Putting the pettiness aside and doing it for the country. Get out of here. They Hillary Clinton. Oh, cackles. That ain't Hillary? Oh, that ain't Hillary. That's some other old white lady. Okay, my bad. They look the same. I couldn't tell. Honest mistake. Joy Behar.
Today we take a very historic action that was 45 years in the making. In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. And it sounds strange, doesn't it? Department of Education, we're going to eliminate it. And everybody knows it's right. And the Democrats know it's right, and I hope they're going to be voting for it because ultimately it may come before them. But everybody knows it's right, and we have to get our children educated. We're not doing well with the world of education in this country, and we haven't for a long time.
For every public school teacher.
Let's pause right there, man. Before we get into the people complaining about it, I just want to point out that it really doesn't matter what we hear them say about it, about the benefits of it, though. We'll talk about that later. There are going to be a lot of people that are upset about this because it's Trump. Yeah, because Trump's doing it. And there's no way, Lucifer could do anything positive because by definition, Lucifer hates fun. And he hates progress. And he hates helping people. And he hates people. And that's sort of like been the mantra over the last 10 years by cable news media. So, they're not going to go and break script now. I mean, the only time the Democrats or the liberals give Trump any love is when he was dropping bombs. That's the only time he got any good press. It's when he went to war. Yeah, when he sent tanks in and dropped bombs. That was it. For one time. No matter what else he does, no matter what else he's done, it's always bad in their eyes. Once again, and there are people that don't even know what the Department of Education does, but to clear it up for you, it will be Elizabeth Warren, who's going to tell you exactly why this is a bad idea and why the Department of Education is so necessary. Because she's a wealth of information. She's not a partisan hack. She's serious. She's doing this for the people. Watch.
In this country, and we haven't for a long time.
For every public school teacher, every public school librarian, every administrator, every school bus driver, everybody who helps educate our kids, you need to know this is the moment we got to stick together and we got to fight back.
It's like she didn't talk to any of these people that she talked to. Well, any of the people that she mentioned. Because I don't think bus drivers give a damn about the Department of Education. I got a feeling the cafeteria workers, the custodial workers, the teachers, nobody, the resource monitors, the principals, the assistant principals. I don't think those people, I don't know. I had an educator on the show and his words, and I'm just going to go by what he said. He said, Dr. Abdullah, what are your thoughts on what's going on with the Board of Education? Should it be phased out? Is Trump playing politics, or is this something that we should be upset about?
The Department of Education, I liken it unto the MTA, the Metro Transit Authority of New York City. It is a money pit. This is what they recognized. There is so much money in education.
He never met a teacher that, liked the Department of Education. Other than sending them big ass student loan bills, that most people have no real, true understanding of what the Department of Education does. But I'm sure, since she's saying we all need to form Voltron and fight back, now we gotta fight back. Come on, everybody. We gotta fight back against Donald Trump. We gotta all band together now more than ever. I know she's gonna give us a reason, right? Right? Okay, let's go. I'm jumping the gun. Let's see what her rationale is for the fight.
Care if you are a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, a libertarian, a vegetarian, we need you in this fight. This is the fight for an America where it's not just rich kids who get an education and have a chance to build something with their lives.
Oh, so she's saying without the Department of Education, all the schools shut down, huh? I don't think that's being honest. Yeah, I don't think that's an accurate descriptor of what's going to happen. Like, they haven't fleshed it out. You know what I'm saying? Hasn't been fleshed out exactly how this is going to look. And if I had any criticism of Trump, which I do, believe it or not, I do, it's that this is it's like my background. You're in the dark. No one knows what this really means totally. It's not very clear. Get what I'm saying? But neither is what this woman is cackling on about. Yeah, I think the Democrats are programmed to say, fight. We got to fight. We got to fight. Democrats let a fight when they have no power. Then when they get power, they go, we can't do that because our people on our team don't want to vote the way we want them to vote. Well, why don't you go beat their ass? No, we can't do that. Got to be civil. Can't fight them. Got to work together. I thought you said you like fighting. Yeah, that's only when someone else is winning and we can't do anything to stop them, so then we want to fight. What? It makes sense. There's more money in it that way. It's more money.
But that every kid in America gets the best education they can so they can build the best lives.
Yeah, I was under the impression, based on my research, fam, I can't see how the Department of Education really impacts the local school districts, like the schools where the kids go. Yeah, I don't see it. I was really hoping that Elizabeth Warren would tell us, because she's not telling us anything.
The only way that's going to happen is if we stay in this fight. It is a fight we can win.
She used fight several times, but she never told us why to fight. She did. She just said, hey, we need to fight. You got to fight. Fight. I don't know. I felt like I was back in school and I was about to watch a fight, on the hill behind the school. Fight. Like, there's no reason, no justification, just the word fight. What's sad about it is that there are Democrats, I'm sure, hopefully not in my audience, not my people, hopefully not, that are so slow that that's all people have to tell you is, you need to fight. You just run outside and fight. And that's how people get bullet holes in them. That's how people get knocked out, like who got knocked out? Craig? No, Big Tiny. Rest in peace. That's how you get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? That's how DJ, he got knocked out. He got knocked out. That's who it was. So just fighting for fighting's sake is never a good look. And if you're a Black American, if you Black, and I want to specify Black American, right? You know better than just fighting to be fighting. Because there's a place called jail, and it applies to all things. Why do they need us to fight? What? There's things we should fight. We should fight our jobs being taken by people that just got here yesterday. We should fight the resources that are leaving our communities, that are going to people that did not pay into the pot. There's a lot of things we should fight. We should fight bad water, bad air. We should fight our money being sent overseas to drop bombs on other people's babies. We should fight a whole list of things. But fighting while a building in D.C., this is different for me. I live in Maryland. I used to work in D.C. all the time, so at least I walk by the Department of Education. Some of you, if you live, I don't know, in Buffalo, you ain't never even seen the Department of Education. Why should you fight somebody for a building that's in D.C. that ain't got nothing to do with your school that's up the block? See, I think we got people that are losing their minds because people told them to lose their minds. And they got other people in their life that don't know anything or don't look up anything, who have been just gaslit into doing stuff, and then will talk smack to you and berate you and smear you with no facts at all. All based on what they saw somebody say on TV. Folks, this next video is going to say what I'm saying, but it's going to be a white lady saying it, and maybe then it'll make sense or maybe then some people that believe the white ice is always colder, maybe then you'll listen. Because when I was saying it, people act like I went crazy. He crazy black man, two crazy black men on Tim Black channel said it. Maybe we can't take it serious. Here goes random white ladies telling you exactly what I just said. 3 weeks after I said it with my friend Dr. Musa Abdullah.
It's the fight for an America where it's not just rich kids who get an education and have a chance to build something with their lives, but that every kid in America gets the best education they can so they can build the best lives. But the only way that's going to happen is if we stay in this fight. It is a fight we can win.
The biggest concern is all the opportunity gaps that the federal government provides through the Department of Education. The federal education role is limited. There's no, except for, the Department of Defense schools, which are not run from the Department of Education, or the Bureau of Indian Affairs schools that are not run by the Department of Education. It doesn't control any schools. In fact, it's the states that control schools. So if President Trump doesn't like what's happening in education, it's the states and local school boards that do it.
Next.
See, she slipped up and said that. See, that wasn't her intention. She's saying, why close it? It's not like the things you want fixed will be fixed by shutting down the Department of Education. See, this is when people get real smart, but they're so smart they're stupid. See, there's one thing that the Department of Education does that the schools don't do. And that thing is waste a whole lot of damn money. That's what they do. See, the Department of Education, they allocate money by the budget. The money is not generated by the Department of Education. Oh no, the money is in the budget. Okay? For some reason, the money is given to the Department of Education, and then the Department of Education takes money off the top of the money, and they put it in their pocket, and they hold conventions, and they hire staff, lots of staff, people making copies of papers no one's going to read, databases that no one searches. Then they decide, how much do we want to send to the states? I mean, after we got our cut, of course. In fact, prior to 1978, there was no Department of Education. As people have reminded me, it was President Jimmy Carter who established this organization, this agency. Prior to that, there was no Department of Education. And it's not like with the advent of Department of Education, suddenly education got better. Because as the lady said, accidentally, because that's not what she was there for, it doesn't really affect the schools. But what it affects is the money. Reagan wanted to dismantle it. Bush wanted to dismantle it. Every Republican president wanted this to happen. They all thought the states control the schools. The states have the schools in the states, and the local cities and towns control the schools. Why do we have a Department of Education over its top of the local entities? People are going to say stuff like, well, they're going to be able to discriminate in the state level. Folks, the same laws that apply, the same constitutional rights that we have with the Department of Education in play, they're not written around the Department of Education. You can't discriminate against people because that's in the Constitution. It's a civil right. They do not supersede the civil rights that we have in the country. So the idea that, oh, well, without the Department of Education, they're gonna go back to segregating schools. This is bogus. That's still against the law. Trump can't change laws. In fact, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not even sure this is gonna stick, baby. Yeah, I was talking to Mrs. Black about it, and I was explaining how I see it and what I've researched and what I've uncovered. And I ended it by saying, but you know what? It's likely this will be challenged in court, and we'll see what happens. But this is something that Trump ran on doing, and he's trying it. Similar to Biden, who said, we're going to reduce all this student debt. You know, they're still kicking his case down out of the courts. I just saw a ruling this week. They blocked Joe Biden's dismissal of student loan debt. It was ruled an overreach, that he had overreached, that he had used his powers indiscriminately and had crossed the barrier of what his powers were meant for. But no one's talking about it like, oh, Biden, he thought he was a dictator. He thought he was trying to rule the world. If I ruled the world, of all the girls, I love him, baby. Nah, he tried. So it's just a very hypocritical system that we have. We have cable news media that doesn't report the truth. And this is not a new concept. Like I stated, many others have tried to have voiced it. They just never went through with it. And it says here that it was stalled by congressional resistance and the practical challenges of redistributing programs like the Title I and IDEA funding, which enjoy bipartisan support. So this is only done through executive order. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. Folks, I encourage you to go watch my segment with Dr. Musa Abdullah from All Things Education. In my humble opinion, from what I've researched, it appears that America looked around and said, hey, we can make money off this. Yeah, all this is a lot of money in education. We should get some at the federal level. That's all I see. In the money that we allocate out of the budget, why not just send it directly to the states? And to my people that are doubting that this makes any sense, think logically for a minute. If you worked or if you had a business, would you want your money to go to an intermediary before it came to you? Or would you like your money to go straight from the source to your pocket? I just got an email today from my school, my grandbaby's school, that wants us to chip in and gave us a link to donate to her class, kindergarten class, for supplies. Our school's underfunded. Some of that money that we are missing in the schools go to big salaries in DC for people that have no impact on your school at all. Is that we gonna stop the money from coming to the state? Have you ever tried to file someone with the Department of Education? Do you know how big that bureaucracy is? People act like, well, if I got a problem, at least I know where to go. If you had a problem, you go right up to your school because your school's right there. What, you gonna travel to DC from Milwaukee? You're gonna walk to DC from Alabama? How you getting to DC, man? Please. You're going to your local or your state to deal with it there. Why all the redundancy? So people can make money. We say we live in a capitalistic society. You know, they try to make money off everything. But for some reason, I got people that don't believe that America's trying to make money off your education needlessly. That doesn't help you. We know we try to make money on everything else, from healthcare to freaking war. But for some reason, we got morons who think, oh, there's no way they try to make money off schools. I rest my case. Look, guys, hit the like button on this segment. We're going to move on to the next segment. Folks, there is no one watching this show, I believe, that doesn't want the best for the kids. We don't need to go through the distributor. We go right to the plug. All right, that's all I'm saying. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Another's phone a friend. All right, guys. I had to go Avon Boxing on that, man. To get my point off. Next. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.